In the headlines, terrorists attack Damboa town, burn hospital, school. Imo Speaker declares PDP lawmakers' seat vacant. CBN fines 3 banks 800 million for transactions. U.S. Senate to vote on ending trade with Moscow over invasion of Ukraine. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Zainab Bala. Hello and welcome. Now, terrorists suspected to be members of the Islamic State of West African Province have attacked the Damboa town of Borno State. A security source who confirmed the attack said the terrorists attacked the town around 1 a.m. on Wednesday. He explained that they burned parts of a primary healthcare facility aside from the town and parts of Technical Girls College Damboa. A civilian JTF also said 2 of their members sustained injuries from gunshots. Now, at least 10 terrorists of the Islamic State of the West African Province ISWAP, including top commanders, were executed by its affiliate faction of Boko Haram in the northeast of Lake Chad. This was revealed by Gazagola Makama, a counterinsurgency expert who closely follows Boko Haram activities in the northeast. According to the expert, the Boko Haram terrorist faction of the Buduma overwhelmed the ISWAP in a gun battle, which resulted in the killing of many fighters on the river bank between Kaduna Rua and Kandahar axis of Niger Republic. Many fighters drowned in the water, while 10 ISWAP fighters were apprehended by the Budumas in the aftermath of the battle. Former Nigeria's President Goodluck Jonathan on Wednesday evening escaped death after he was involved in an auto crash in Abuja. The accident claimed the lives of 2 of his aides, Inspectors Ibrahim Abazi and Yakubu Toma. The accident happened while Jonathan was on his way from the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport to his residence in Abuja. Now, confirming the accident, Jonathan's special advisor on media and publicity, Ikechukwu Eze, offered condolences to the families of the deceased officers. He added that 2 other officers involved in the accident are receiving treatment at an undisclosed hospital in Abuja. Now, the managing director of the Bank of Agriculture, Alwal Ali Hassan, has regained freedom from the terrorists who bombed the Abuja-Kaduna train. Hassan was among those abducted by the terrorists during the attack. The abductors released video from the managing director. Look.
Rasulullah, amma bad. Mu da ne zaman da muka kama wayannan mutanen nan a jirgin kasa kuma ga sanan da kun gansu wannan da cikin iko Allah da neman alfarma da yayi tayi da yanayin ganin tsofarsa da yayi shine muka tausaya masa yanzu da yanayin wata na Ramadan muka fitar da shi zamu mika wa ƴan uwarsa. Amma wannan gwamnati kusan abin da kuke kai wannan ba komai bane, mun dai tausaya masa ne, mun mika masa. Gashi nan dai in yana da wani ƙarin bayanin da zai muku sai ya muku kuji daga bakinsa. Wannan dai shine insha Allah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Ina so na shaida muku cewa an tausaya mu saboda girma na da tsohuwana da nake da shi aka ce in fita. Amma ina so shaida muku cewa na ba al'umma a baya da dama kuma suna cikin yanayin da suna buƙatar taimako da ɗaukaka na a fito da su da wuri. Ina fata gwamnati za ta samu shugabannin wannan ƙungiya ta magana da su don a samu fito da su da wuri. Assalamu alaikum.
Now, in a twist of fate, the Speaker of the Imo State House of Assembly, Kennedy Ibe, has declared vacant the seat of the member representing Nkwere State constituency, Obinna Okwara. Ibe himself has been a serial defector, having made 3 defections since he was elected the representative of Obono State constituency in the 2019 general elections. The Speaker, who was re-elected on the platform of APC, joined the PDP when Emeka Ihedioha was governor and immediately defected to APC when the Supreme Court declared Hope Uzodinma the governor of the state on January 14, 2020. Okwara, who had last week joined the People's Democratic Party from All Progressive Congress, is among the 6 lawmakers suspended since December by the leadership of the House. Ibe took the decision during a plenary on Wednesday. The National Reconciliation and Strategy Committee of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) on Wednesday in Abuja submitted its report to the National Working Committee (NWC) of the party. The report has recommendations that could strengthen the party ahead of next elections. Trust TV's Shafiu Suleiman reports.
Submitting the report to the national chairman on behalf of the committee, which was set up in November last year to examine and resolve disputes across all levels of the party, Chairman of the committee, Senator Bukola Saraki, says the report contains detail of grievances that were mostly generated from the interface with various stakeholders across the 6 geopolitical zones. As part of strategies to reposition the party, the committee recommends slashing the cost of nomination forms to encourage youth participation, ensure thorough scrutiny of party officials who will be saddled with the responsibility of conducting primary elections across board in order to avoid internal disputes as observed in the past.
We have discovered that the conduct of primaries to elect candidates to represent the party has been a source of great intra-party conflict and friction in the past, resulting in PDP being severely weakened and hampering its chances of success in previous elections. Mr. Chairman, we believe that you and other members of NWC are men and women of great courage and integrity who have displayed a commitment to our party, its ideals and values. We want to advise that the party leadership should at all times adhere to the principles of equity and justice, good conscientiousness and inclusiveness.
Receiving the report, National Chairman of the PDP, Senator Yachia Ayu, says the party leadership is proactively addressing some of the concerns that put the party on the edge with a view to strengthening it ahead of the next elections.
We'll go through this report meticulously and very soon submit it to NEC, since it's a NEC committee. And we believe that NEC will implement, we have not only approved the report, but will also help us to implement some of the recommendations which are contained in this report.
He takes the opportunity to lash on the government of the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC) over the deteriorating security situation in the country, describing it as the next level the party promised Nigerians. Shafiu Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now, a federal high court will rule shortly on the case brought before it on the defection of Cross River State Governor Ben Ayade to the All Progressive Congress. Now, presently, our reporter is in the court, Shafiu Suleiman. Hello, Shafiu. What's happening presently there?
Right now we are at the Federal High Court complex, Nigeria's capital. Precisely behind me is the Court 7, where Justice Taiwo is presiding. In a short while, he will be delivering a judgment in a suit, filed by the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, in Cross River State, challenging the defection of the incumbent governor, Ben Ayade, and his deputy, from the opposition party, PDP, to the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC. Now, the plaintiff had prayed that the court should declare their seats vacant, having defected from a party that sponsored their re-election. They had also asked the court to declare the results of the election that produced the duo as belonging to the PDP and not themselves as individuals. In an alternative prayer, they also want the court to compel INEC, which is one of the respondents in this suit, to conduct a fresh governorship poll in the state, but excluding the governor and his deputy. Now, this is a case that has suffered 2 postponements within 2 weeks, and today the judgment is scheduled to be delivered by the trial judge, Justice Taiwo. Before today, that is at the adjourned date, counsels, to both parties, talking about the plaintiff counsel, Mike Ezekome, Emmanuel Ukala, and the defense counsel, Mike Ezekome, have argued extensively on the matter, drawing the attention of the court to a judgment delivered by Court of Appeal in Enugu in a suit filed by the PDP against the incumbent governor of the state, David Umahi. And the action of the governor and his deputy is of no consequence, that it doesn't have any legal. The two cases are not similar, as it were, but the defense counsel has maintained that there are, similar cases, talking about the same issue, that is defection from one party to another. Now, as we speak, Justice Taiwo is right now in his court, that is Court 7 precisely, about to deliver a judgment on this matter. So our fingers are crossed. We're waiting to get the outcome of the judgment of the of the High Court here in Abuja.
Details subsequently in our bulletin. Now, still ahead, the Nigerian Senate has considered a bill to establish the National Religious Harmony Commission. The bill, sponsored by Senator Sadiq Suleiman, scaled second reading during plenary this Wednesday. The report.
Leading the debate on the general principles of the bill, Umar said the legislation seeks to establish the National Religious Harmony Commission to serve as an intervention to promote tolerance, peace, and harmony in the country. The lawmaker explained that the UN Charter seeks the promotion and respect for human rights and fundamental freedoms for all without distinction to race, sex, language, or religion. He noted that such principle is equally embedded in the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Having realized the sensitive role of religion in national security, peace, and harmony, the federal government wishes to promote interreligious harmony and understanding due to the checkered history of religious intolerance in Nigerian polity. The bill seeks to create an enabling environment for the peaceful coexistence of all adherents of different religious beliefs within the Nigerian nation, and as well provide for a forum for public enlightenment and dialogue to limit controversy and confrontation over allegations of discriminations based on religious beliefs and identities.
The bill, after consideration, was referred to the Committee on Establishment and Public Service Matters for legislative input. The committee has 4 weeks to report back.
A bill for an act to provide for the establishment of the National Religious Harmony Commission and for other matters connected thereto, 2022 second reading taken, and the bill is referred to the Committee on Establishment and Public Service Matters for further legislative action to report back within 4 weeks.
In a related development, a bill seeking to amend the Federal Colleges of Education Act to establish the Federal College of Education, Arochukwu, Abia State, by converting the existing College of Education, Technical, Arochukwu, to a Federal College of Education, also scaled through second reading. The bill was sponsored by Senator Oji Uzo Kalu, representing Abia North. The bill has been referred to the Committee on Tertiary Institutions and Tech Fund for further work. The committee is given 4 weeks to report back.
You're watching Trust TV News Update coming up. How rope making changes fortunes of villagers. Details of this and more after the break. To stay. Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Trust TV News Update. Here are our top stories. Terrorists suspected to be members of the Islamic State of West Africa Province, ISWAP, have attacked the Damboa town of Borno State. In a twist of fate, the Speaker of the Imo State House of Assembly, Kennedy Ibe, has declared vacant the seat of the member representing Nkwere State Constituency, Obinna Okwara. Still ahead, the UN High Commissioner for Refugees has reaffirmed plans to step up its collaboration and capacity to promote zakat practice in Nigeria. Zakat is a form of almsgiving often collected by Muslim faithfuls as a religious obligation, which is ranked next to prayer in the order of importance according to the Holy Book. The workshop centered on release of UNHCR Islamic Philanthropy 2021 report organized by the UN Refugee Agency in partnership with the Association of Zakat and Waqf Operations in Nigeria. Stakeholders at the workshop lent their voices to the promotion of Zakat in Nigeria.
And the numbers of globally displaced persons is increasing worldwide. So, of course, we have to look at different partnerships, different mechanisms for resource mobilization. So in the recent years, UNHCR has partnered with different faith-based organizations. In this case, we're talking about the Muslim Islamic Philanthropy, but we've also partnered with churches and other faith-based organizations because the needs are there, the needs are plenty, and we need to diversify our resource base. So in this case, we are not the distributors, but what we're encouraging is that we use the collection of zakat to assist the most vulnerable, internally displaced, whether here in Nigeria or elsewhere.
The zakat potential globally reaches up to $500 billion annually. But what is being collected by all zakat houses and NGOs and organizations is a very, very small percentage, only a fraction of this amount. I strongly believe that zakat, if done right, can contribute to poverty eradication, can be the best modality for social solidarity.
We have made an arrangement with hospitals and pharmacists to identify vulnerables who cannot afford to settle their medical bills, and we use that money to pay for their medical bills in their respective hospitals, either in the urban or in the rural areas.
We want to reaffirm our willingness to partner with both UNHCR and other one in respect of addressing poverty, hunger, and attaining overall well-being and livelihood of our citizens through zakat.
A large number of telecommunication subscribers trying to link their national identification number and subscriber identification module were left frustrated on Wednesday as heavy traffic and telecom networks slowed down the process. This is coming after the federal government, through telecom companies, barred Nigerians who had not linked their SIMs and NINs together from making calls. The move was aimed at enforcing compliance with the federal government NIN SIM policy. Due to the traffic, they have appealed to the federal government to extend the process by 3 months to enable them complete the NIN SIM linkage. The House of Representatives on Wednesday mandated its committees on telecommunications and banking and currency to look into the cases of telecommunications subscribers who have fallen victims of breach of privacy and identity theft. The committee, which is expected to report back within 4 weeks, is to also identify inadequacies in the relevant regulatory frameworks and proffer solutions. The House's resolution followed the adoption of a motion on the need to protect telephone subscribers from breach of privacy, fraud and loss of money by Rep. Olushola Steve Fatoba.
Concerns that in spite of the regulatory frameworks in existence, the occurrence of a breach of privacy cases of fraud and consequently financial loss are on the increase. Also concerns that many Nigerians are falling victim to illegal and unauthorized deduction of funds from their bank accounts because their financial institutions keep sending their bank account transaction details into their Itato phone numbers, which have been reassigned to new subscribers, thus opening a dangerous window for fraudulent activities.
Now, the Central Bank of Nigeria has imposed an 800 million naira fine on 3 deposit money banks in the country for violating regulations barring customers from transacting in cryptocurrencies. According to a Bloomberg report released on Wednesday, the 3 banks are Access Bank PLC, Stanbic IBTC, and the United Bank for Africa. The report noted that the penalties were part of efforts by the Apex Bank to ensure that banks implement an order to cryptocurrencies in the country. The directive was contained in a circular issued by the CBN in February 2021. The report stated that Access Bank was fined 500 million naira for failure to close customers' crypto accounts, according to a filing with the Nigerian Exchange Limited, while UBA incurred a 100 million naira penalty for digital currency transactions by a customer. Now, local rope from raffia plant is the business of people, mostly rural dwellers in northern Nigeria. Locals, mostly from communities in Katsina, make ropes from these tropical plants called raffia to complement their means of livelihood, especially during dry seasons. Trust Television visits a Mashi market in Katsina State to see how the business of rope making thrives and how it turns around the economic lives of those engaged in it.
Mashi Market is located some 30 kilometers east of the ancient city of Katsina on Daura Road. These people buy ropes from the locals and transport them to the southern part of Nigeria, where they are used to tie kola nuts and sugarcane. We take these ropes to faraway Lagos, Shagamu, some parts of Bauchi, and of course some parts of Adamawa State for sale. They used to tie sugarcane and other, so they use it for so many purposes. Out of this rope business, we get what we eat, we put our body and souls together, and we make some benefits out of it. Besides buying food, we take care of our families, and so on and so forth. Local ropes are also to make fences, sheds in local markets, and other domestic purposes. The business also helps the locals economically as it complements their livelihood. I can tell you, we used to get what we want from this business. When we come to the market, we sell this raffia plant. Sometimes we bring the ropes, then we sell them. We get what we buy cranes from the sales we made. Modernization has also crept into this local trade, as many have devised the use of rugs, barks of trees, and other fibers in rope making. However, in spite of all this, the rope making from raffia plant continues to thrive and give people the much needed comfort. Another thing that has a similar economic value made from raffia plant is a hand-woven mat and hat. These products are also diminishing as they are being replaced by rubber mats. Stakeholders in the business are calling for government intervention to revive the sector and save it from extinction. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
And on the foreign scene, the U.S. Senate will vote on Thursday to end normal trade relations with Russia and to ban the importation of its oil. Both bills have been bogged down in the Senate. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said he wished the vote could have happened sooner, but noted that after weeks of talks, it was important that they have found a path forward. The trade suspension measure paves the way for U.S. President Joe Biden to enact higher tariffs on certain Russian imports. The bill banning Russian oil would codify restrictions Biden has already put in place through executive action. And in sports, Nasarawa Amazons on Wednesday beat Niger Rattles 3-2 in Nigeria Women Football League final group game in Kefi. Trust TV's Adeni Ajishafe has more.
2022 Nigerian Women Football League Final Group North Central Derby match between Nasarawa Amazons and Niger Rattles at Tuko Buratai Snake Farm Football Pitch, Kefi, ends in 5-goal thriller, with home team Amazons having an edge in a 3-2 win over Rattles. Daniel Precious opened scoring for Niger Rattles in 11th minute, while Josephine Matthias equalized for Amazons via spot kick 4 minutes later. Udoma Amarachi makes it 2-1 for Nasarawa in 27th minute to end first half. Both teams squared up in the second half till 56th minute as Messi Doko makes it 3-1 for home team. The duel continued till 72nd minute when Paulina Ochio drifted in a shot at goal to beat Amazon's goalkeeper, pulling one back to cap a 3-2 for Rattles, ending Group A match day 14.
We don't only want to win, we want to top the table. So we came with a plan. Win your last match, you are the first in your group. That's you're sending a signal before you go to Super 6, and that's exactly what we're doing.
Neighbor, to each other, so we wouldn't want anyone to go down. We are getting the results, the desired results, and coming in for the first time in the Super 6, in the league, and qualifying for the Super 6 is a big record for the team, for the players, and for the coaches.
The discussion between all Nigerian football lovers, we'll be talking about the NWFL right now, between the 6 teams: Edo Queens, Rivers Angels, Bayelsa Queens, Delta Queens, Nasarawa Amazon, and also Niger Rattles. Who will win the 2021-2022 NWFL 6? We'll wait to see. Adeni Ajishafe, Trust TV, Kefi.
Well, with sports, we wrap up news updates. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Zainab Bala. Stay tuned.